Previously in Dorican. After recovering from the fight against the Yuan-Ti last night, the Hounds of War discovered to their horror that Fennian's eyes had become similar to that of a snake, an occurrence that happened after he had heard the voice of Heskin inside his own head during his elven trance the previous night. As the group came to terms on what they ought to do, a halfling woman and her wolf companion arrived at the tavern. She introduced herself as Naris Lightfoot and told the party that she had sought them out after reading a pamphlet that stated that the Hounds of War were still recruiting. Initially wary of the newcomer, the group decided in the end to welcome Naris into their ranks, though only after they learned she was a druid. The future goal of the Hounds became clear: to find and track down Heskin Ashenbreath and put an end to his evil. However, the means to achieve this goal proved slightly more difficult. The reason for this was that the Yuan-Ti hid within the Shadowfell, and people in millennia had only been able to traverse into another plane of existence from the material plane, but not back again, all due to the mist of Dorican. Fortunately, the party did know of certain organization and men and women of faith that might be able to circumvent this problem. They ordered a cleric named Paco at the Church of Vesh, as his deity was the god of trickery, fortune, and more importantly, shadows. Paco decided to help the party out, as he felt sympathy to the people of the Proud Pony who came to harm during the Yuan-Ti attack. Following the plan put forward by Paco, the Hounds of War sought out Lieutenant Patrick Towerhill, as he owed the cleric a favor due to a mishap in his youth. And in the end, the lieutenant did indeed allow the Hounds to claim one of the Yuan-Ti corpses, needed for Paco to cast the Speak with Dead ritual on it. But during the ritual, something out of legends happened. Time stopped. And as the party was unable to move nor speak, the Hounds of War saw Paco become possessed by Vesh himself, who summoned the actual soul of the slain Yuan-Ti and interrogated under torture by ripping off parts of its soul. The slain Yuan-Ti revealed that his race were able to move across planes of existence due to the aid of an entity simply known as He Who Waits, He Who Grows, whom Heskin served apparently as it was the only being able to aid him in reviving the Yuan-Ti race. The god of shadows was not pleased by this news, and he called forth shadows that consumed both the Yuan-Ti's body and soul. When he was done, the god told the party that he would provide the means to travel to the Shadowfell and back, but they will need the help of a mage with access to teleportation spells to make this possible. Ultimately, the mage in question proved to Professor Carver Cunningham from the Arcanum University. He gleefully agreed to help, but under one condition: that they did not expect him to aid in a fight. The party then transported through the Shadowfell thanks to the magic of Professor Cunningham and the magical teleportation circle provided by Paco. Carefully making their way across the desert of grey sand and black mountains, the Hounds of War saw a pack of gnomes who were in the midst of capturing ghosts and forcing them into a cage. And within the pack, a man with ash-grey skin was held in chains. Upon defeating the gnomes and rescuing the man, he introduced himself as Omel, one of the Shadowkai, and declared that he would serve as the party's guide as long as they would help him reach back home to his people. On your way to the city of lost souls, Amneria, you set up camp, allowing to rest after the fight against the gnolls earlier that same day. Omel keeps a watchful eye over the camp while plucking some purple fruit from a couple of dark, thorny trees, which he tells you are called umbra nettles. Jace and Fennian, as you rest, your mind wanders far away from this realm of shadows to a beautiful forest of incredible tall trees, the top of their crowns obscured by mist. It is a familiar sight. You recognize this forest as Brierwelt, the very place where the founding members of your group first came together after a harrowing shipwreck. You see Bromdane next to the both of you, his stare as equally confused as yours. But before any of you can share any words, you all turn your heads when you hear a deep, guttural sigh coming from behind you. You see that the source of the sound is a towering bear, its size easily rivaling that of a church. It lies on the forest floor, seemingly resting. Its thick fur is green like the leaves of summer, and a mane of wilted wine surrounds its neck. It opens slowly its eyes as you look towards it, but otherwise makes no movement. Each breath it takes is irregular, and when the bear exhales, it seems to be in pain. The magic symbols on your bodies, which you gained in Brierwelt, glows with a pale green light, and you are washed over by a sense of comfort You have grown so much, a female voice says, the tone motherly and proud. I have done right in entrusting you with my power, but I fear that soon the time for repayment will arrive. I shall hold her off as long as possible, but my power wanes each passing moment. Jace, an image forms in your mind. You see a beautiful woman wearing a tiara of silver, long black silken hair beneath braided with white flowers. Her elegant white dress waves gently in the air as a man wearing a crown places his hand on top of hers. They kiss, and the enormous crowd surrounding them erupts in celebration. Fennian, you see the same woman, this time in a dark secluded room, looking grimly into a small cauldron from which she extracts its milky content with a small vial. You then see her in another room, large and splendid, secretly pouring the vial's content into a cup of wine, which she stirs, and then with a pleasing smile hands it over to her husband, who drinks it without a second thought. And Branding, he sees her too, standing at the top of a balcony, speaking to the people beneath, her cheeks wet from tears. In her hand, the crown once worn by her husband. But once she turns her back against the people, and the banners of Greydale they hold aloft, she wipes off the tear with a smirk. Each scene you have seen by yourself, you share, though you know not how or why. Then the images stop, and once again, you are in the forest. Though her curse prevents me from speaking her name, the pact we four share allows me to reveal at least this, the female voice says softly, and you see the bear faintly smiles. Go, my little cubs. See the world and aid the people you meet. But know that the curse that plagues Brierwelt and I will one day call you back as it tries to consume the world once again. And be aware that when that fateful day comes, I will no longer be able to help you. And now,
may I just make a prediction? Fennian wakes up with eyes of a bear.
Essentially, what happens to
no quest, guys.
to those with the magic mark, which include you, Jace, Fennian, and Branding, actually, you now gain a secondary ability you can use on the magic mark. There are 3 different types you can choose from, and there's Augury, allowing you to cast the Augury spell. There's
Augury.
I can't recall right now. I believe it's something like, is this a good course of action? And then somebody will say yes, no.
Gods for help. Help gods.
The magic 8-ball.
A secondary ability would be Bear's Prowess, which allows you to cast bull strength on yourself. While under this effect, your melee attacks deal double damage against structures and objects.
Nice, congratulations, Jace.
And
what the spellcaster Jace did.
Yeah. And the final ability is Speak with Plants, allowing you to once per day cast the Speak.
That is the one Bramdane chooses without a doubt.
Good morning, flowers. How are you today?
Yeah, as he's hanging
Good morning,
out
hemp.
in the dwarven underground realm, he definitely chooses that one.
Boss, my dear
Again,
friend.
you don't need to choose right now.
Okay, yeah. I'll just have a look.
Go with Bears.
These are all my mushroom friends.
Turns out, important thing, mushrooms are fungus now.
Yeah, exactly, they're not plants. You can't speak to fungi?
I don't think so.
Damn it!
They are back to
Every time you're walking on grass, you just say,
never speak to a fun plant, man.
They are nuts.
It might be unfortunate to have speak with plants when you have an affinity for fire magic.
Look, guys! or maybe that's your thing.
I like to hear them suffer.
Oh, that's a lovely bouquet. I'm dying over here.
How you doing, tree?
Slowly
How you doing now, tree?
Fuck you, tree.
Very well.
These are
And
all
you return back again to the Shadowfell. And you're all arrested, you all wake up.
roleplaying.
Mel hands you a couple of these fruits from Dark Nails, which in the past are called Polma.
Fruit snake?
Yeah, a fruit. Jace, talk to them.
Well, I mean...
Actually, you wouldn't be able to speak to the fruit, you'd be able to talk to the trees.
Why did you take my babies?
Oh, my nuts!
Thank you very much,
delicious
Chanel.
fruit.
Yum yum.
How far away are we from the city?
We are about a couple of hours.
Shall we, as we know, say, since our GCFO?
Sure. Do we want to have some sort of, I don't know, party interactions before we leave?
Nope.
Anyone want to have a talk?
We can walk and talk.
So I had a strange dream this night.
Oh, well, tell me all about your dream. I long to hear it.
Yes, I share what I heard. Or saw.
I listened to it, standing entirely still, to show the respect to Jace that he deserves in terms of us listening to his story. We get
Fennian nods and says, yes. How high are your passive perceptions again?
11.
Well, that's 13.
16.
How much is that again?
It will be
That one.
Oh, so it is. Shit. That would be 13.
13. Okay, now you're actually the only one who noticed that when Fennian speaks, his tongue seems weird.
Ouch.
Oh no.
It seems like at the end it goes 4.
Oh, I see. Fennian, something is wrong with your tongue.
What do you mean? Oh, fuck me.
What's wrong with Fennian's tongue? I haven't noticed this.
Now look at it.
No.
Stick your tongue out, please.
It is 4.
No! I don't know. Might be handy. Get into some nooks and crannies.
Nope.
Here we go now.
Yeah, I guess if no one else has anything to share, I suppose we can.
We start walking. So tell me about your life.
No, we're walking. I can only do one thing at a time. Oh! And I fall over because I walked unsolved. I can't tell.
Roll to multitask.
Much time have we spent in the Shadowfell?
Well, at
Where do we have to roll again?
At least 9 hours, you would say. Maybe 10.
Yeah, do we have?
Alright,
how
so
often
the
do we have
curse
to?
is actually pretty
Advanced?
progressive.
Yeah, it's going fast. How often do we have to roll for Shadowfell depression?
Oh, you already did.
We did
the
all
previous
previous,
session.
Oh, okay, and you don't have to do it once, and you're fine?
Once per day.
Right.
Remember, dear
And
friends,
today is a day?
but we rolled that in the last session.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm with you.
And remember, if you make saving throws within 10 feet of me, you add +3.
Yeah.
So everybody huddle up on the sleep.
Feet away from you.
Dog.
I don't need you, Dad.
Very well, you travel through the sandy desert, as one could expect, and about 2 hours trek is the brisk pace you have. You do see a large black wall surrounding an enormous city. I would like you all to roll a history check.
I mean, I get we're in the Shadowfell, but like, why does the lot be black?
Ooh, that is one natural one.
18.
I also rolled 18.
Small.
Well, I got 15, so
6.
suck it.
Okay,
History?
three of you above.
I never even met her.
You have heard about a similar town or city, although it is in ruin in the material plane. It's called Moorland, which is capital once found within the Forgotten Kingdom, essentially, which is located in a jungle called Brierwelt into the continent of the south.
Ah. So it's like that city in the. Do you remember the Forgotten Kingdom? No.
The forgotten what now? I've forgotten it. I would roll a 1 on my history check. I don't know anything.
That's why I asked. And you were asleep at school, that's why.
It was a bit.
Oh,
But
a bit of what? Oh, nice.
Mel says, well, you're free to enter. I am not allowed inside. I will stay out here and keep watch.
So, where were we leading you again? Oh, I'm assuming to Mel's people.
And he shows you the map and points towards the camps.
Let's go to camp.
Why can't you enter?
My people did something in the past that has not allowed them to enter anymore.
Enter what?
The city.
What city?
Amneria,
Whoa!
the city of Los.
My God, I'd forgotten this thing was a thing.
Wait, so because you failed your history check, you
Yeah, you actually lost the memory.
Yep.
That's why I studied history, guys, so I can see things.
Whoa! There's a city here. What's the deal with the city?
Well, it's
I don't know, what is it?
the reason for the name City of Lost Souls is because various ghosts has settled within. These souls has forgotten their true identity, and so
They are lost. Yeah.
Have you ever been inside?
once long ago, maybe.
Why aren't you
6
allowed
years.
inside?
When they were all streaking.
I cannot say.
Okay.
They were all streaking.
Just as I imagine, you have secrets you do not share to us.
Nope. I'm an open book.
If we were to give you some disguise of sorts, would you be able to lead us through
Hat.
Amneria?
A big moustache.
Persuasion check.
Persuasion.
I mean, if they were streaking, some clothes would do. But
14.
Could be the throwaway clothes.
Yes, I might be able to. How?
Also, I think more importantly, do you wanna?
Yes, I might be of assistance inside. Out here, I cannot do anything.
I have a question, and it's going to be a bit of a dick question.
Yes.
What are we doing in Amneria?
What?
Isn't that where the
Shit.
royalty?
Nope, they're down here.
Oh.
They're down south.
Again, from what he told you last time, he told you that essentially from where you were to the city, there was a 1 day.
Right, there's a travel opportunity. That was it.
Cool.
Well, okay, so you just want me to cast a spell on this dude to make him... Right, okay, fine. I cast Disguise Self, and I look like him now. Bam!
But my people are not allowed inside.
Oh. I dropped the spell. The spell is called Disguise Self.
I can't disguise other people.
No, I can't disguise himself.
But he's a type of self.
You do.
I mean,
you
take
have
it
a
up,
hat
it's,
if you want to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I might.
What if
You
I
might have
cast
Shadowfell lice.
What if I cast Minor Illusion to put a bag over your head?
or just a moustache.
Or
It was just the color of his skin.
ooh, oh yeah, but that makes sense. Right? So you look like a human.
Yes.
I don't think Minor Illusion can do that.
You can try.
Maybe.
No, it's not gonna work.
Fine.
Maybe I should just do it myself then. And then he calls disguise self on himself.
So why don't we do that? Like,
Why did we go through that whole rigmarole?
I'm in the city.
Because I just realized that he actually had to spell. That's why.
Oh.
But if the
Essentially-
royalty is not there, should we even go into the city?
We need to get the city to get transportation to go to the Hounds, so we don't need to go all the way around.
Yeah.
They might have a way to help us get to the Yonti camp that is faster. And
Yes.
judging by the state of Fennian, who, as you can see, has already turned into a snake and slithered away, we should probably hurry a little bit.
Oh, he's been snaked. Maybe we can get something to ride on.
Like,
Ride on!
We could wait a couple days
people,
and buy a Fennian.
my people do have vehicles you might be able to lend.
Okay, then why are we going to the city?
In order to make sure we have enough resources before we continue the travel.
They don't forget to pack sandwiches.
Vehicles?
Yes, indeed. And he tries to describe the vehicles. They are essentially not
Mad Max
Oh, we need
cars?
Mad Max.
basically what he describes is equivalent to a dune buggy. However, they have metal wheels with these small shovels allowing them to track through.
But they would be in his camp, right?
That would be.
But just one question, because I know I bought extra rations and water skins before we entered the Shadowfell. I was just wondering, if this trip took us 9 hours,
How
then
long?
surely this trip wouldn't be enough to spend those rations.
No, you travel, then you took a long rest, and then you continue to travel.
So it was more like
How long
19
have we been in the Shadowfell at the moment?
Yeah, 9 hours, right?
Again, I say
it must
about
be
10 minutes, 10 hours. Again, it's hard to
Okay.
tell. There's no sun or anything
So,
you're used to.
Yeah. Here's
all
the
in
thing.
all 10 hours.
No, probably not. That would.
Seems like too little.
Yeah, it will probably been.
It's been a
Again,
short
a
time.
day,
Yeah.
a complete day with the
24 hours.
Great. So, and this distance is approximate to this distance. I know it's curved and everything, but so do we need? You need more sandwiches.
I can take care of some sandwiches.
Great. Do you wanna do that?
I'll go sandwich hunting.
Cool.
Definitely. I think that's something I can do.
Do you need help?
I want tuna.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure
Shadowfell 2 now.
awesome.
Yeah, sure. We go.
Sure, so twins will go get sandwiches for the trip. You guys go find some Mad Max vehicles.
there.
What? Well,
They
okay. Do you have Shadowfell horses? Camels?
No, we have
Giant beetles?
we have
Plants.
some camels that are called Koraks.
Can we ride them?
Do you have vehicles with like giant poles on top and we sit on and like bounce back and forth?
We have nobody nearby.
So wait, why are we going to the camp?
To drop off a mail and get a vehicle.
So we can go back the way we came from and
No,
go to
we're
the
just-
camp. Right, okay, but it's still...
Yeah, but it's mountain range.
Oh, you can't go over the mountains?
Maybe.
It's difficult.
Again, I wouldn't be able to tell how long it would take.
Go through some mine or something?
Into the mines of Moria.
I don't know.
Professor Cunningham teleport us.
Oh, yeah! Professor!
Isn't that his specialty?
You're a teleporter.
Well, I'd like to dabble.
Can you just teleport us to where we need to go?
Are you actually looking for it? I don't actually have the teleportation spell, I can see.
Oh. How did you get us here in the first place? Pray tell.
all sensible.
I will then go back to our world, get a better wizard.
Well,
Yeah, do that. Try to see if you can find a 12th level wizard. That's gonna be easy.
Yeah, sure.
But you're the DM. I don't understand.
Brandon's been doing push-ups, right?
I think he's probably 12th level by now,
Yeah,
definitely.
sounds right.
I mean, he kind of been going slower than when he was in this spot. Sorry. Wait, but then, okay, so you got us here, and you can get us back again, right?
That's true.
But you can't get us over there. No. I'm not negging you, I just really need to understand how this works.
Also, do we need to back in the
Again, the
place?
most powerful spell I have is Dimension Door.
Ow.
Oh, great. Professor, do we need to go back to where we came from? To go back from where we came
No,
from?
I have essentially anchored myself to the teleportation circle, so once you need it, just...
We'll just grab onto you and you'll...
I'll make sure you
Then
get
you'll
back.
just port key us back. Cool.
Yes, yes.
There's no place like home.
Yes. So which
Do you notice he has red boots somehow?
which media reference are we going for? Are we going for Marvel, Harry Potter, or Wizard of Oz?
Lord of the Rings.
So eagles.
Yeah, eagles. Cool. So sandwiches, and we continue the camp, get vehicles, or do we want to cross over the mountains?
No, I mean, I said we do the plan and get our friend here,
Yes, Omet.
Omel, of course, to his home.
Yes.
Reunite him with his family.
Thank you.
So we promise, and he'll pay us when we do.
In Shadowbucks.
In Shadowbucks.
Will pay us in vehicle.
Love.
Let's go in the city. Omel, are you waiting out here?
No, I will join you.
Okay.
And he casts disguise self, and essentially it just becomes the equivalent of a human version of himself. Light skin, and the clothes seems to be more accommodating your type of appearance rather than his own.
We're looking like one another.
Oh.
A party in the city.
Sandwiches.
Okay, I'll do the same. I'll go into the city.
We'll go sandwich.
So hey, Nearest,
hunting.
what's your deal?
My deal.
Wait, are you walking or are you standing still?
I'm standing very still. No, I'm just kidding. I'll ask you later.
So you enter the city. Very well. As you enter, you do see actually plenty of ghosts around, mingling. Some are actually facing through buildings involved. Some are in conversations. You see a child about, you guess he must have been 8 years when he was alive. He's concentrating on a small pill that just moves as he tries to make it move with his mind. And he looks up and he's like flabbergasted because he clearly is not used to see living people. Hi.
Hello.
Who are you?
We're the Hounds of War.
Yes.
We're a group of
famous.
people.
Cool.
Yup.
So, little kid, do you perhaps know where we could buy sandwiches that can be eaten by real people?
He's a real.
I don't know. Maybe Nameless knows. He knows everything.
Nameless.
Yes.
Where can we find him?
I saw him in the center of the town square.
Cool.
Thanks.
We'll
Do
go
we
find
tip you? Or?
Okay.
You try to pet him in this room.
Do you need help? Or Do you have a quest for us? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, should we just get going? Because
Before you quest, yes.
That's about it.
Oh, okay. You don't have like, so like you have 20 boars for us to kill. Nope, that's fine. All right.
we'll
See you
continue
around.
going, and as we go, and I presume the ghost boy will try to.
Yeah, he tries against.
Yes, I will cast thaumaturgy and like move the rock.
I cast. Oh, okay, and then I'll cast Ray of Frost and kill him.
Ghost boy dead. No.
More dead. Fuck you.
I'll never forget him.
His name was Nameless.
No, the name was still the guy.
Nope.
This was the guy we were looking
Don't
for.
think that's true. It's not what I remember.
My name is Tumble.
Yo, they didn't have a name.
No,
His name was Tumble.
We didn't.
You will forever be in my heart, Tumble. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Okay, we go to the town square
Yep.
Yes.
and we try to find Nameless.
Very well. Actually, it's not hard to spot him because O'Mell
It's a
actually.
name tag.
No, he doesn't have that.
No, because O'Mell actually points him out. You see a man wearing armor, or again, ethereal armor. On his back is a grey two-handed sword, spectral blade, but the hilt seems to be actually physical. With at the edges near the hilt is just jagged, serrated blade, which then turns to an ordinary sword from there. And you see he's talking to a couple of who must be guards with him, and he just stays stay within the perimeters, make sure it doesn't approach the town. Yes, Nameless. And they just walk away.
Oh god, guys, we're going to cut a slide pot just getting sandwiches. Hello! We are the Hounds of War on a small adventure through the city, and we're looking for sandwiches. And that's it.
Oh, they're living. It's been a while.
That's us.
Yep.
Living.
Biological matter.
Very well.
Everyone knows we're
Please
living.
join me. You can join me in my course. I'll find some food for you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was sent by
Very
Tumble.
Yep, Tumble sent
Sweet
us.
kid.
Any of you have proficiency in history?
Yes.
Plus.
Try to roll a history check.
Oh, well, that's nice. 18.
You do actually recall a bit of lore from way back you were told, like probably as a child, about a man wielding a spectral blade back in the material plane. His name was Tarian Timberwild, one of the champions who actually fought against the Witch Queen during the Hex War.
Can't be this dude. This guy's nameless.
Okay, I go into a coughing fit.
Is there anything wrong?
Oh no, just a cough.
You okay, Jace?
Well,
I hand Jace a lozenge.
Remember,
Thank you.
You should be adding +3 to save against cough.
Oh yeah, yeah.
essentially, he have you waiting inside a room and he tells a couple of other ghosts to fetch some food for you. Probably enough for perhaps 3-4 days travel of rations.
What kind of food is it?
Essentially, most of it is actually just this palma fruit.
Ah.
Ghost peppers.
How do they taste?
Actually, they don't taste a lot. The weird thing is they have this purple skin that is fairly hard. It's like biting into leather, essentially.
Okay.
And they don't really taste of anything, but there are a lot of let's say, fruit juice with it. And they also seem to replenish a lot of minerals, which are well tells you.
Okay, thanks for that.
So it's essentially like biting into water with a thick hide.
My favorite.
Yeah. But you also find some oh, sorry, the beast of burden is called konaka, I can see. Beets and so forth. Dry jerky and so forth.
Okay.
So, what brings you here?
Well, our friend Fennian is turning into a snake. Now, that isn't great for old Fen, so we've come here to stop it. And we're going to do that by killing the guy who's trying to turn him into a snake. A snake by the name of Haskin Ashenbreath. Heskin Ashenbreath. Hasketh Ashenmouth.
We believe that he is currently holed up south of the mountain, south of here, on the side of the mountains.
Okay. I haven't heard anything like that, but I would be sure to keep a watchful eyes.
I take up out of map and say he's there at the place where it says UNT.
Oh,
That's where he's hanging out.
Mouth of the Woolrock Mountains.
Exactly. Right there.
You haven't seen any
No.
Yuan-Ti?
Again, I haven't seen living people for almost a decade now, I believe.
Okay.
Not a lot of those here in these places.
Wait, who are we talking to now still?
They're nameless.
Oh, we're talking to Nameless. Yeah, okay, because I was thinking.
Alright.
Do you have some sort of mode of transport that can help us across the desert?
Well, unfortunately, no.
Any
We
tips
can't.
how
We
to
really need.
tips as to how we best get there?
I suggest we travel around the mountains rather than over them. They're quite perilous.
Oh, so you're saying we can't travel over the mountains?
No, you certainly can. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can if you want to.
I don't want to do it now.
How is the terrain? Is it friendly
Difficult.
or?
Right. Basically, he tells you that the whole area you're in, the Valley of Destitute, is just one big desert. There are plains further outside, but that will probably take you
That would help us to get there. Get on a plane.
3-4 days of travel in just one direction to get out.
Well, I do have proficiency in flying and flying planes.
Oh.
So if we can get one of those, I'll just put on my old-timey plane gear.
So this was a fun bit.
Should we just get going then? We have
I
our
think we got our sandwiches. Let's
Well,
teach
I don't like to send you off without some means of protection. We recently found a suit of armor. We cannot use it, maybe one of you could.
Yep.
Always.
Just strap her on.
Just on top of the other stuff.
What kind of armor?
No, do you need
Yeah, is it
use
nice? Was it like ghost armor?
Magical leather armor.
Well, leather, you say?
Yes.
Black leather.
Wait, is it
Strap?
real leather? Is real leather fake
Fur.
leather? 'Cause
Fur.
we'll get some vegetarians.
Leather.
I mean, I wear leather armor.
Well, please come this way, and he shows you into a room,
Yeah, the dressing room.
and you can see it's actually still on a corpse.
That's fine.
And it's this beautiful black and purple leather armor with the symbol of Vesh emblem on the chest. The symbol itself looks like a humanoid black face that is grinning, half of it covered by a white mask with a single tear coming out.
Ooh, that's very nice.
Big Phantom fans.
Let's see if I can find the stats for it here for a moment.
Yeah, tell me the stats, Nameless. Tell me the stats. Spooky stats. Give them to me. Give them to me.
You should tell them.
Silence! I'm trying to hear the stats.
Very well. This is Gambler's Fortune, this armor. It's a +2 leather armor.
Jesus Christ.
When wearing and attuned to the armor, you are able to see through the darkness. Even the darkness spell is not hindering by that. But you're still, for instance, things that obscure your sight will still obscure it. Then it has an ability called Double or Nothing. Essentially, it works in the way that when you make an attack roll before rolling the damage, you can decide to gamble. Essentially, you make a secondary attack roll. If you hit on both, you deal double damage, essentially like a critical hit. If you fail on the secondary rollers, then the attack
Use your
reduces from
attack, and that's once per day.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool. Actually, that's really cool. I take it off the corpse, definitely. Well, see, I'm not sure I do take it on because it's probably cursed.
Yeah, you can make an account, you.
No, no good at that. There's no point.
Just gonna chance it.
I'm a bad wizard. But I do take it out. I take it out to the others. Can I take it
Yeah.
with me? Nameless?
Yes, it's why I show you that. So.
Alright, just asking, just trying to be nice. I bring it into the other room. Hey, so this is pretty cool armor. Do you want it?
I mean,
Thank you.
you can have it.
Do you?
I can probably wear it underneath my armor.
You probably could.
Yeah.
No, I guess I will wear it.
Wear it.
I put it on wrong. No, I put it on right. Oh, I put it on real right.
Real right.
Very well.
And fully in front of everybody else.
What can you tell us about Vesh?
This is Sana'ag.
I'm sorry, I'm not a worshipper, and the few memories I have of once I was still living are faint, disjointed. don't think I can really tell you anything that you probably don't already know.
Gotcha.
Just sort of running our plan, I suppose. So what is this called?
Gambler's Fortune.
Gambler's Fortune. And how much else does it give me?
Again, I believe it's 12 plus 2, so 14, and then you can add all your dex modifiers.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking that's way less. So 14, but oh Jesus, that's 17. Gambler's Fortune.
That's a cool name.
It is.
And as you talk, a couple of the ghostly guards arrive and say, "Neighbors, we think this is near. I'm sorry, but I have to leave. We have pressing matters."
What are sandwiches?
Yes.
Yes, I have wrapped these fruits in jerky. That's sort of a sandwich.
I was just thinking, like slice the fruit and put the jerky in between.
I guess it's not, but they're full of water. So when you slide them open, they just
So you're moistening up the jerky.
We need some ghost bread, guys.
Let's get going.
This should be our quest.
This must be.
Very well. Shall we be going? Omer says.
Yes, so Mel, I think we should be going.
As always, the intro music were by David Szesztay, whereas the other pieces were by Kevin MacLeod. Links can be found in the description below. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time in Dorokin.